But welcome everybody. Be sure to hit the like button. Be sure to hit the subscribe button.
I remember in middle school when you felt self-conscious if you were the last one to go through puberty. That really went topsy-turvy, didn't it?
Sometimes the house it's too much explaining yourself and it's too apologetic.
Be sure to hit the notifications bell.
I actually do believe Israel won't just bomb countless civilians.
Be sure to tweet this out. Be sure to put this up on your Facebook.
You have to be kind to people. Be kind to the guys in this mess in the first place.
You can put this up on your Reddit.
Chile is a country.
Be sure to cut and paste a link to this to go into your favorite Facebook chat group.
It's good to see so many normal people in here.
Now, spanking isn't just my deep, dark personal secret. It's America's deep, dark secret.
I've never seen it explained so simply anywhere.
Put this on WhatsApp. Put this on Telegram. Put this on your favorite messenger app.
Hello and welcome to the Untitled Anarchist Seagull channel. I guess I'm just gonna wait a couple of minutes before people find the new link. I had an annoying little chain of events that involved my mouse bouncing off the cord of my webcam, turning it off, and the only way to actually restart your webcam in OBS is to stop streaming and shut down OBS and restart. So I had to do that just now, and so as a result, it looks like we need to wait a minute before people get here. Well, we're doing that. Let me just get this set up. Need to do that anyway. So I have that there. I think we might start out with a little bit of, where is it? A little bit of Ethan once I find him. Hi. I had a slight technical difficulty that shut down my webcam, and I had to restart everything in order to have a functioning camera feed of myself. So I had to, which results in there being a new link. Sorry about that. I'm going to start out with a bit of Ethan Klein. The Three Bozos of the Apocalypse, this is called. I wonder who the third one is. I mean, him and Gila, certainly.
Hello, everybody. It is Ethan Klein, your host of the H3 Show. May 19th, 2025. Can I get some booms in chat, please? Wait, yep.
I'm gonna skip ahead to a message to Denims, who has joined the various people now suing Ethan as part of his overall crash out era.
I have a little bit of a thing I want to read to her. She's been talking a lot.
I mean,
if you want to read to her?
If he has any sense, it'll be a fucking apology.
Hold on, she closed her fucking GoFundMe. She was you guys remember she was crowdfunding to sue me for defamation.
Did we not talk about this on Friday?
No.
Wow.
Okay. I don't think we ever talked about it.
Wow.
Yeah.
All right.
I know. Can you imagine?
Well, it's
that?
oh boy, big news. Do you like that new tag? We added some new tags
It's
on the
very
subreddit
good.
recently.
Yeah, it's very good.
Oh boy.
Yeah. Oh, the heading is Denims Retracts, which is not exactly accurate, because if you look at what she said, she, proceeding with a defamation suit against Ethan is a monumental undertaking. A suit with Kavanaugh started almost 4 years ago and is still ongoing. I don't want to fundraise to start a fight that I can't finish and feel like I've let down those who have donated. With that in mind, if this is a journey I wish to undertake, I'll be doing it with my own funds. Yeah, I mean... The other possibility, considering he did just lose big to Kavanaugh, is that you actually proceed with the suit, and by the time you actually go to verdict, he goes bankrupt and you don't get anything anyway. I mean, there are all sorts of reasons.
So she was posturing that she was going to sue me for defamation. We sent them a letter back. She sent me a cease and desist. I sent a letter back just being like, basically, your client is fucking out of her mind. She did not show you the context. And also she's...
Hi, Badger.
Exfoliating evidence.
That's exfoliating? Is that a combination between spoliating and exfoliating? So it's like taking off the top layer of skin of the evidence?
Is the legal term.
No, it isn't. It's spoliating.
Oh, no bueno.
In fact, spoliating actually is a good example of the term for kind of what Ethan does when he says something and then presses that button. It goes out, but it doesn't necessarily...
Judges and juries tend to frown upon erasure of evidence. Right? Right? So,
see, this is, of course, the problem with saying you're going to go after an asshole like this for defamation and then deciding that it is as expensive as it's going to be, that it may not be a great idea. Now he's emboldened and he will just bullshit. He'll just say anything.
He said... now, why she closed it is anyone's guess. I think it's...
well, I mean... maybe the reason she closed it is if you actually read the thing that's up on your screen, she actually says exactly why. It would take a long time, it would be extremely expensive, and she could go broke before it ever goes to a verdict, or it could go to a verdict and there's no money for her to get.
Either because either her lawyer dropped her. That's what my lawyer thinks. That they saw this and they're like, I'm not defending you on this shit. Especially
Did you guys not get a response from your response?
Mm-mm.
Huh.
This was the response.
Okay. Yeah.
Right.
I mean, who knows, but that doesn't seem like a great development.
Well, yeah, and if you actually read this, it says the rationale for closing the GoFundMe. Well, she's still evaluating whether she wants to dedicate several years of her life to going after this dickhead.
So I think it was either her attorney dropped her, or her attorney was like, I strongly advise against doing this because, again, a certain loss, and she would have to pay my attorney's fees. It would be the fattest fucking L ever for her.
This is so hilarious because he's describing what would happen if he went forward with that bullshit against Noah Sampson.
Going ahead with that would have been total suicide, right?
Mm-hmm.
But, and also people were accusing her of, like, scamming, right? Because everyone was
I wonder which people he's talking about. That wouldn't be anything that he was putting out there, I'm sure.
Yo, where's that money gonna go, actually? Well, she gave the money back, which is good. But it's a little embarrassing, Dems, no matter how she tries to spin this. 1 week, 1,692 donations, and $46,000.
No, he is going to read it. So after acting like it's a fucking mystery why she did this, he's going to actually read what she has to say. That's an improvement. That is higher standards than we're used to from Ethan.
I'm refunding the GoFundMe.
Hey, Riveroon.
I love how she says 1 week like it's this insane span of time.
I think the point might actually be that she got 46 grand in a week. As in, if she'd let this go on for longer, it might be, it would possibly be quite a bit more. I did send out a new when I did send out an announcement with a new link. That's in the Discord.
Well, guys, it's been 1 week. If and when I go forward as a plaintiff, I will be self-funded. Oh, so you admit that you never needed the donations?
That's not what she said, actually. In fact, she makes it very clear that this is likely to be an extremely expensive undertaking. She probably could use it. Yeah, he's saying that she retracted while reading something that where she very clearly does not retract it. She has not said she's not going forward. She's saying she has to give this some serious thought. Bonsoir.
Are you admitting now that you are not in need of money from your fans who you asked?
No, maybe keep reading, Ethan, and we'll see if she's admitting that, because actually, spoiler alert, she's not.
Give you money for? And then once they actually rallied behind you, you kind of just like... Why did she do that? She is the queen of self-own. I
don't see a cell phone here, because, like, first of all, she demonstrated she raised 46 grand in a week. Now, that is not enough, necessarily, to proceed on a defamation suit as probably a public figure against somebody who has as deep pockets as Ethan has. That's not a whole lot in those terms, but in terms of being able to raise that kind of money in a week, I mean, that is the kind of fundraising you would need to do in order to be able to handle something like this. So, I mean, it does not read to me as a retraction. That actually is kind of a flex. And then she returns it.
Like, at every turn, this girl's owning herself. Thank you for everyone for proving Ethan wrong. His behavior is unacceptable and people do... Proving me wrong?
Well, yeah, I mean, 1,692 people in just 1 week heard that she was suing Ethan Klein and decided they wanted to help make that possible. Very clearly, that sounds like people actually, there are a fair number of people who would actually like to see Ethan lose a lawsuit.
By you conceding in shame?
She didn't concede anything, and there's nothing in shame. Like, I mean, in fact, here's the thing. What he's doing now is potentially also libelous, and it's very easy to show he knows what he's saying isn't true because he's looking right at it.
You said
No. The proving you wrong is that she raised 46 grand. That's
she wanted to
No, yeah, see, I mean, here, once again, we get pushback from his staff.
raise like 150. Her goal was 150.
I'm not saying that
Her goal, it was 1 fucking week. Like, 1 fucking week, and she was nearly 1/3 of the way to that 150.
makes sense, but that is...
How's that? I never said
that's
she
how
could-
I'm interpreting what she's saying.
I never said she couldn't raise 46,000.
No, well, I believe what she's responding to is that you said that people did not care and consider and were on your side about this. And, I mean, if you get that much, if you manage to get that many donations in that kind of an amount in just 1 week after announcing you want to sue this asshole, that sounds like there are a fair number of people who actually want to see him take a fall.
I made up that I don't think she's raising 150.
Well, you got proven wrong.
And I know I got proven right. And
Well, I mean, she got a third of the way in 7 days. That sounds like, I mean, I would not actually bet against her getting 150 in within a month if she had kept it up. She didn't keep it up.
Single conceivable way, I think.
And and nothing in here actually says that she decided that it is unfounded or whatever.
I think,
Well, there's at least $46,000 worth of interest in seeing you sued. It's not nothing.
40, yeah, and again, in a week. Shit, I mean, that's a huge... I mean, anyone who's ever tried to do a GoFundMe, any kind of crowdfunder, for whatever, online, other than for, like, a big organization with a lot of platform and a whole lot of people sharing it, I mean, that much in a week, that's pretty good, actually.
I'm sure there's lots of people that would love to see somebody sue me, but...
Yeah, I mean, that's their point. Lots of people, apparently.
About $46,000.
And they're willing to pay to see it.
Good. I mean, you know what would be so funny is if, let's say, hypothetically, I do sue her.
Hypothetically, huh?
And pay her attorney's fees and court costs and all that other stuff.
She has to do another crowdfunding. She has to reopen it and ask for money again.
Wow, I mean, isn't it so funny that she has less money than Ethan? And Ethan has such a complete overestimation of his chances of success in a libel suit against somebody who didn't say anything untrue, and in fact exposed him lying about somebody else and committing libel. Yeah, I mean, it's hilarious.
That's my favorite outcome. Yes, Dan, if I sue her.
Right.
The question, Dan, is not if, it's how many times.
It's worth noting that the deadline that Ethan's own pro-Israel dickhead lawyer set for Noah Sampson's retraction has come and gone, and Noah's had absolutely no correspondence from Ethan's lawyer. So it's sounding like somebody is definitely just kind of tucking tail and running away, and I don't think it's Denham's here.
Oh, interesting.
You gonna read the rest, Ethan?
But I can't. I've over delivered and under. No, sorry, I've over promised and under delivered, which is the biggest. No, right?
Right.
Because I kept being like, the lawsuit's coming, it's coming, and then it never came. So everyone's just kind of confused about.
Nobody's confused. Everybody knows that the reason it's not coming is that you can't find a lawyer who wants to embarrass themselves like that.
Talking about it until something actually happens, which should be soon, by the way. Which I'm doing it again.
You're doing it all again.
Yes, it's called bluster. It's really impressive.
Every step you take.
You gonna read the rest of the thing where she explains what her rationale is for this, Ethan?
Anywho. Thank you, Ethan. Thank you, everyone, for proving Ethan wrong. Proceeding with the defamation.
Oh, he skipped the part. He skipped the part where she says his behavior is unacceptable and people do care.
Suit against Ethan is a monumental undertaking. His suit with Kavanaugh started almost 4 years ago.
The suit that he lost. He went to appeal and he lost.
And it's still ongoing. I don't want to fundraise to start a fight that I can't finish and feel like I have let down those who have donated. Well, then why the fuck did you make the thing to begin with?
Because you fucking libeled her and it seemed like the right thing to do, possibly.
I just can't. From the beginning, I was like, the fact that she's crowdfunding before she's even decided to sue me is insane.
Well, it sounds like she actually had decided, and then she changed her mind and decided she needed to give it some thought. Because it's going to be expensive and take a long time.
It's insane. Because anything could happen, right? And of course, $46,000 wasn't going to be enough.
That wasn't her fundraising goal. That was just what she raised in 1 week. Just by telling people that they could help cause financial damage to Ethan Klein. And it turns out people will actually pay to see Ethan Klein hurting financially.
To do a whole defamation lawsuit. Of course, she's talking about over 4 years, which I don't think ours is going to last that long. I think ours will be over pretty quickly. Although the legal system does, move at variable speeds.
Yep.
God, I would hate to be his lawyer. Not even if he actually I would hate to be representing him even with a good case, because he just seems like he would be a pain in the ass. He would just resent every single aspect of the process and make it impossible to do anything. Like, I would pity anyone who would represent him even where he had a good case, which he does not in this case.
A fundraise to start a fight that I can't finish and feel like I've let those of you who have donated down.
Yeah, I mean, that is the nature of the U.S. legal system. You can start a case, and then you run out of money. In fact, defendants who have deep pockets, their whole thing is making it take as long as possible and cost as much as possible so that anyone who sues them goes broke before it goes to verdict, so they have to drop it.
That in mind, if this is a journey I wish to undertake, I'll be doing it with my own funds. Then why the fuck are you begging for money?
She isn't. She isn't. She literally isn't. That's what she's doing. She returned the money. She returned 46 grand.
What?
Why would you say it's a fit of... I don't want to start a fight that I can't finish. So let's take that. That presumably is her saying she doesn't necessarily have the money to follow through.
Yeah. I mean, I love this. His employees here keep on just pointing out the obvious. Ethan tries to act like there is no possible interpretation, but that this is her, like, super tacitly admitting that she didn't have a case to begin with, and that she was dropping it altogether or whatever, that it was a retraction, he even called it. And here's his guy over here in the bottom right corner going, no, I think what she's saying is that she doesn't know if she has the money to deal with it, which is obviously what she's saying. She's saying it very, very specifically. And other people have also pointed out, like, the kind of money that, this, like, the whole thing with him and Kavanaugh, which I don't know details of other than that he just lost a big, appeal in that case. I mean, that's a shitload of money.
Top of their
Finish a 4-year-long process of a lawsuit because she's citing the ongoing one with Kavanaugh.
Well, I think she also probably...
Yeah, I mean, yes, obviously. Obviously. Yeah, I mean, either he doesn't understand it or he's pretending not to understand it. But yeah, I mean, Ethan, not all of us have fucking household staff and can pay for our own little weed lord to show up in the bottom right corner of our streams. And the U.S. legal system is fucking expensive.
Learned that she's going to have to pay my attorney's fees when she loses.
Which she wouldn't.
Let's just assume for a second that
She's like, oh shit, I don't want to.
Yeah, look at him here. Look at him pushing back here. Let's just assume for a second she thinks she's going to win. Yeah, because she has a case. Unlike Ethan.
Have to spend any money.
Right, but what if she thinks she could win?
Which is how this reads.
Still saying that she doesn't want to do it because it's a fight that she can't finish. But then she goes on immediately afterwards to say if she does sue, it'll be with her own funds.
She's not suing.
Well, I mean, maybe she's not suing. Maybe she is suing. That's the point. She has not ruled either option out.
She's not.
I mean, I don't know, but
Oh, God.
it sounds like she doesn't think she can afford to.
Then why did she return the money?
That's why, you dickhead. Because if you raise funds for a stated purpose, and then you change your mind and you're not going to do the thing you raise funds for, you don't get to keep the money. That's called fraud. Like, literally, they could sue, if she had kept the money when she's having second thoughts about whether she could actually afford to go through with it. All the donors could actually sue her to get the money back, and they would win.
Like,
I don't know. I'm confused.
Clearly, this is because something behind the scenes happened that strongly persuaded her against doing this, right?
I mean, you haven't offered any reason to believe that, and that's not what she's saying here.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, maybe
That's-
her lawyer advised her, like you suggest.
Oh, so she'll be elaborating on stream on Friday. So I guess that would be yesterday, or maybe last Friday. I'm not sure what date this was.
Or even dropped her.
So anyway, Dum Dum over here she put a flag in the ground and said, "Ethan will be sued by me. Everybody rally behind me." And then everybody rallied behind her.
Yeah, see, that's the point that she's making here. That's what she's saying when she says she's already proved her point. Because as you just said, everyone rallied behind her. She has tested the water to see whether the people in the, the community of, like, fans and supporters that she has feel that she has a point and want to actually see her proceed. And she has got pretty strong evidence that she has the backing of, of the people that matter to her if she's getting that kind of money in a week.
And donated her money. And she sat there powerfully, strongly. She sent me a cease and desist. We sent one small one-page response, and she's like, "Okay, maybe not a good idea. I'm going to
I mean,
give everyone money back.
His headcanon is fascinating.
Please don't sue me, Ethan."
She didn't say anything about that. The world building on Ethan Klein's podcast is amazing.
What happened, tough lady? God, she's such a fucking pathetic human being. Holy Toledo.
Yeah, but at least she didn't call herself a stalwart supporter of people she was spreading genocidal propaganda against.
It'd be a shame if I still sued her, though. That would be terrible. I think it's so fun that Noah just did this massive fundraiser. And let's say hypothetically I'm planning to sue a bunch of these people. They just keep raising money because Noah's like, let's prove to Ethan that we can raise the money.
Yeah, and he did. I mean, he raised $500,000 in just a few days, in less than a week.
Like this lawsuit, which is fine.
It's fine.
For them raise the money so that I know that at least there's something left when I win, right?
But you wouldn't win. I mean, in fact, there's nothing in the fucking lawyer's letter that really suggests that they're being serious about even pursuing this.
Man, that's just logic. That money's coming to me.
No, it isn't.
Eventually. So, it's good. If he was bankrupt, I wouldn't collect at all.
That's the other reason that maybe that Denims might be a bit hesitant to sue you, because you could spend a huge amount of money suing a guy like this. When he loses, he just declares bankruptcy, and then you get nothing. And you're just stuck with the costs.
So in a way, it's good for me that he's crowdfunding. But I do think it's funny.
He's not crowdfunding for his lawsuit.
No, what he said, I'm going to crowdfund, but I'm doing it to prove that we can.
Well, what he said was, if Ethan sues, that will be the legal defense fund. But he doesn't think Ethan's likely to sue, and I have to say I don't think he's likely to sue, so that it will go to UNRWA. That's what he said.
I said instead of crowdfunding for the lawsuit, I'm going to crowdfund for Gaza.
But that's like an actual good cause.
Yes, it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it must be. I have to say, he pays a guy to point out how full of shit he is. I don't understand this expenditure.
It is.
So what?
So what's funny though is that he's asking his audience to chip in to prove that he can crowdfund.
It doesn't prove anything
but
the sort at all.
There's got to be a.
Well, I mean, it does in the sense that if he needs legal defense costs, if he actually has to proceed, then clearly it will be possible to raise a fair bit of money in a short amount of time.
Limit, like he can't go and you think he's going to go?
Well, also more people are obviously more willing to give to a cause that's going to a good cause versus some dude's lawsuit.
Yeah.
Yeah. Although, I mean, the way he phrased it, it was potentially going to one or the other. It was my understanding of it.
Totally, that too. But like at the end of the day, it's awesome. Yeah. I think it's fucking great. I love it. These guys are the best. So let's continue forth, shall we? That was fun. So in response to, oh, by the way, she made right before she retracted her lawsuit and
she didn't retract a lawsuit. She didn't file yet. She did not retract. She did not. I mean, she did not withdraw the lawsuit. She has postponed it. She is still considering it. She never filed shit.
closed her her GoFundMe. She made this small adjustment on the page. It used to say here, if he retracts, this will be refunded. And then she changed it to modified to comply with GoFundMe terms of service.
If he doesn't retract, this GoFundMe is for legal fees to hold him responsible for his lies. Okay, so apparently GoFundMe has some sort of rule about conditional fundraisers. That's probably the issue here.
Sorry? That seems like she's trying to find a way to keep the dang money.
But she already said she's sending the money back. You read it out loud, Ethan. That doesn't sound like she's trying to keep the money. She's giving it back. Now, if it turns out she hasn't actually given it back, I don't know. It's been a few days since all of this happened. I mean, then that's another thing. But she just announced she's giving it back. She didn't have to. The fundraiser was not over. That sounds... notice, I mean, the highlighted thing that he's not reading, which says modified to comply with GoFundMe terms of service.
So, she didn't, though. She released it. You know. Here she is. I'm trying to watch all the videos and stuff before I read this document I've prepared for her.
Oh, I can't wait. Oh, he prepared it himself? Like, not his lawyer? He prepared it? Oh, this is going to be a real hoot. Hey, Shakespeare. Wow, it the will.
Denim.
She says she included the if I sue him language because Ethan technically has 10 days to retract. So, yeah. So she started the crowdfunder at a time when he still had a grace period in which to retract and avoid being sued.
Implies that she will be going through with a self-funded lawsuit. No, she won't. Says she included the if I sue him language because Ethan technically has 10 days to retract. She's so fucking dumb, she doesn't even know the law. It's 20 days to retract.
No, you dickhead. She's talking about... they're talking about the cease and desist. You can... cease and desist can specify any amount of time to retract. It can specify, 366 days to retract if you want to. There's nothing that actually... And there's nothing that actually requires it to be a specific number of days in order to have the lawsuit. You can say, so she had, he had, the cease and desist gave him 10 days, and a week later, she had already raised 46 grand and had decided not to go through with the fundraiser because the cost could be prohibitive.
You absolute imbecile, moron, loser. I love how Noah, too, he does this video where he's like, oh, hey guys, I had to go learn about defamation.
Yeah, I mean, and you should watch the whole thing, Ethan, because clearly you could also do to learn about defamation law.
And now that I've gone and spent 3 days reading about defamation on the internet, let me talk to you as if I'm an expert on the.
Well, no, it wasn't just that. He also hired a lawyer to advise him on the situation. He goes into that as well.
But she says I have 10 more days to retract. So maybe she does know. But anyway, whatever.
Saw a lot of people confused on what this meant, so I was like, okay. I will elaborate.
Please.
I will elaborate a little bit more. I saw a lot of people being like, well, I don't understand. Why would you start this journey and then say you're not going to do it? Why are you saying if? I'm saying if because the 10 days haven't run out yet.
Oh, please, shut the fuck up.
He can still retract his statements.
You...
The correct term to use there is if. Because if he retracts his statements, which he still has...
I mean, okay, which is another good reason not to be raising funds for the lawsuit, because if she's actually, you know, if he retracts, then she doesn't need the 46 grand for a lawsuit, and then she has to go, or however much it ends up being, if he retracts, then she has to give it all back. So she might as well wait and see whether he retracts first, having already shown that she can very quickly put together a pretty good war chest.
I still have what?
3 days.
Also have 3?
2 or 3 days?
So I have 2 or 3 days left. No, I think she thinks it was 10 days total then.
Well, read the fucking cease and desist. It'll say what the deadline is. That's how they work.
Which means that she's just completely fucking ignorant.
Well, there's an easy way to find out, Ethan. You have the cease and desist there, surely. Read it. See what the deadline is. Because that's how that works.
I can't sue him because he's retracted the defamatory claims.
That's not true also. Like, again, these people... You can still sue if they retracted, right?
Not always. Not actually... not necessarily. Because if you retract... For one thing, if you retract... Okay, this varies from jurisdiction to jurisdiction, but if you... a retraction can often mean that then you actually have to prove damages rather than damages being presumed, as can be the case where there's a case of actual malice and stuff like that. So it can actually be harder to file the suit, and if somebody agrees to your terms, then you also have to actually comply with your end of the deal. So if you say, I'm not going to sue you if you retract, you actually do have to live with that.
Of course you can. You idiot, you imbecile, you moron. It's not illegal.
So the if has to be there. Like, that's just how that works? I don't understand.
I mean, that's literally what you're describing here, what she's describing here. What this letter is essentially constitutes a settlement. The settlement is the simplest and cheapest kind of settlement there is. He retracts, the suit goes away, no money has to change hands. So yeah, if he actually retracts within the deadline stated, she is bound by her end of that deal. Yeah, like, he is such a dickhead. It is amazing to hear that he is supposedly represented by counsel who has not explained this to him.
Girl, he is not going to, sure, but you can't say, I am going to do this, and then he retracts.
No, you can't. You can't, because then that's fucking fraud. You actually, and aside from that, it's problematic under the terms of service of GoFundMe, who clearly have an issue with conditionally phrased fundraisers, because for obvious reasons. So if she raises funds for a lawsuit that ends up settling because he retracts, and no money changes hand and there are no costs involved, then yeah, she has to give back all the money. That's how that works. Now I'm beginning to wonder if Ethan really doesn't understand this, because I saw another thumbnail in my recommendations saying that Ethan may have committed charity fraud. I didn't see any of the details about it, so I'm not endorsing that claim. I feel the need to say, since there does seem to be a lot of eagerness for some hot libel action. So I don't know anything about that, and I'm not stating that as fact, but somebody was talking about it, and if he does not understand that you do have to give back the money if you end up not doing the thing that the fundraiser was for, I can see how that could actually get you in some serious trouble when you're doing a fundraiser. Yeah. I mean, if this is an accurate representation of the state of his knowledge of how any of these things work between fundraisers and lawsuits and libel, then God, he would be a nightmare client.
Yes, you can.
No, you
can
can't.
do both.
No,
Okay,
you
whatever,
can't.
Who cares? She's not suing me. And it's been when did she film this? It's been 3 days. I'm waiting. Although to be fair, Noah is still waiting too. People think that.
Well, I mean, Noah's also said that he doesn't actually expect you to go through with it because the time limit that you set in your cease and desist has passed.
You get sued the second after the window closes.
The window already closed like a week ago, though. I mean, the window had already closed when he had his fundraiser. It's worth noting. So, if he's saying he's definitely going to sue when the window closes, that's a bit weird because he clearly isn't watching, he clearly isn't counting the days. He clearly is not behaving like somebody who actually is going to follow through with his threats. And that makes him a smarter person than he looks like right here because his threats would cost him a shitload of money.
She literally sounds like she's making this up as she thinks about it. So true, dude.
Oh, as opposed to Ethan, who just clearly just has such a great grasp of the facts.
So fucking true. So anyway, she's been kind of dodgy. She gave the money back.
That doesn't strike me as dodgy. Like, the fundraiser wasn't even over yet. I mean, giving back the money that early on because you had second thoughts and there was still a grace period in the cease and desist that wasn't up. I mean, that's pretty upfront, actually.
She seems to have got a little docile on the issue, right? And she's also she's accused. Did we watch clips of her being like, Ethan's accused me of calling CPS? Did we watch?
Well, I mean, that is literally what this lawsuit was going to be about.
That where she says like explicitly, Ethan says that I called CPS. I'm like, no, you did not. What the fuck?
No, I mean, she actually, what she said there, you had it up on screen, maybe you should have read it, that Ethan says that I supported CPS being called on him. That's what it said. And she's saying that she did not, and that is an inaccurate statement.
We watched that.
I don't know. This all blurs together for me.
I feel like we did. Yeah, at the beginning of this. So anyway, I prepared a response to her with.
Oh, hey, hold on. If you've got that in the suggestions... Oh, I'm in the wrong channel to be looking at the suggestions. Need a hobby. Yeah, stuff on Westside Tyler. Oh, Ethan's new token. Oh, Ahmed Fouad Al-Khatib. Oh, this is the guy who, if I remember correctly, he quotes him in the lawyer letter. Well, he was basically blaming half of the planet for the CPS thing.
Some things that I want to just say for the record. You know,
I mean, he said that was bad empanada. I think he said that was, I don't remember. Maybe he didn't say it was Noah. He was kind of throwing the flamethrower in all sorts of directions there with that particular accusation.
if she wants to respond, that'd be great. If she doesn't, then it really doesn't matter either way. But I'm going to read this to you, Denims, and I hope that you enjoy it. And feel free to quit.
I mean, if I wanted to be really mean and speculative, I would say the fact that he wrote this himself, which is the sort of thing your lawyer would be advising strongly against doing when you're talking about somebody who might be suing you, where they're represented by counsel, where there's already the smell of lawyers in the air. That almost sounds like his lawyer doesn't want to take the case, and who could blame him?
Correct me where I'm wrong. I want to address something from Denham's correction demand in her letter. The letter claims I falsely stated that Denham's herself filed the preceding CPS report, or that Denham's caused others to do so. The letter also states, on March 11th, I acknowledged Denham's had denounced herself or anyone in her community making contact with CPS. Let me be clear. I have never claimed that Denham's called CPS.
Okay, this is sounding like he's making the retraction, actually. This is sounding like he's making the fucking retraction. In the most backhanded, passive-aggressive possible way. Okay, let's keep going.
I have never implied that Denham's called CPS. If my statements were interpreted as stating this, I want to correct the record and make it clear that I do not believe that Denham's called CPS. Obviously. Moronic. Idiotic. Stupid. Let me also address the point in the...
He's retracting! He gets in here, I got a fucking statement to read to Denham's right here. And and after like 10 minutes of saying, oh, I'm never going to retract anything, and, she's just not going to sue, he's retracting. He is literally, this is a retraction. He's saying that in no way did he intend to say the things, or believe the things that he strongly implied, apparently, according to Denham's. I did not actually hear him say any of this.
Letter that I claim Denham caused others to call CPS. I did not state, and I do not believe Denham's made a direct call to action to her audience to contact CPS. Obviously, right? Never said that. I do believe, however, Denham's, if you are listening, you are responsible for spreading and endorsing false statements that contribute to the fraudulent call to CPS. The evidence supports me 100%. Let's summarize.
Okay, this is really this is fascinating, because the whole argument, the whole case that Noah makes, that Ethan was one of the YouTubers who backed a genocide, was that he was spreading false information that serves to justify that genocide at the same time as downplaying the effects of that genocide. And now here he is making essential, and he acted like that was just, cloud cuckoo land, that he couldn't, there was no way that somebody could possibly mean something like that. And here he is actually doing, this is a version of that.
First, 2 days before the fraudulent call to CPS. Hold on, I got timestamps. This is the infamous clip, by the way, that we've all seen. But just to jog your memory. And then Denham hosts this and see what she says. And then now we wonder why people are calling Child Protective Services.
But they called it before I even did this stream.
Yeah, so he suggests that very strongly implies that she is somehow to blame for it. Yeah,
she's so stupid. I can't believe she actually said that.
He lets his dogs shit.
You guys know this one. We watched it a million times.
All over his mansion,
yeah.
So Bad Empanada is saying these things. She isn't saying them. She's laughing as he says them.
So, on this day, March 1st, this was 2 days before the fraudulent call to CPS was made. Denham's uncritically, that's you, played a clip of George Janitis, the human STD.
Oh, wow. I mean, here we go with the doxing again. Although, actually, I have to say, Bad Empanada has actually given his legal name on stream a couple of times because he has actually cited academic publications he wrote under the name. So that, I mean, but yeah.
A person whose Denham knows is clearly biased against me and a prolific spreader of misinformation. In the video Denham's watched, George Janitis, the human STD, claims that there was dog shit all over my home.
I mean, we've seen what came before there, and what he was saying. First of all, let's just remember, when we're talking about that people can evaluate claims. Nobody thinks that Bad Empanada had actually looked at, visited Ethan's house and looked around and could speak to the state of the floors. What Bad Empanada was saying there was that Giardia is caused often by fecal oral contamination, and that therefore, and that apparently the dogs were the ones infected, which was something that he got from Ethan, allegedly. I did not see Ethan saying this, so I don't know for a fact whether he did or not, but okay. And so he says so he's saying he's interpreting that information as meaning that. Yeah, like, people watching that would be credited, and if this went to court, they would be credited with understanding that fucking Bad Empanada is not saying that he knows these things for a fact, that it is in his interpretation of information received.
That I just leave it on the floor. That my house is just covered in dog shit. My kids crawl around in dog shit.
So, yeah, I mean, what you're saying is that's Bad Empanada saying that.
He intimates that my kids either eat dog shit or get in contact with it with their hands. That my children contracted a parasite called Giardia from the dog shit that is all over my house. One day, his house is covered in dog shit and he's neglecting children raised by nannies have contracted parasites.
Yeah, so again, I mean, this is stuff Bad Empanada said. She
previously known to science from the feces. These were all statements of fact by your friend George Janitis, the human STD.
Yeah, and you can't actually blame her for what he said.
Denham's.
Like, did she endorse them? Did she say that's definitely what happened?
She demonstrates she believes his statements are false when she smiles and laughs during the clip.
So if you smile and laugh during a clip, that means you believe what they're saying is false? I mean, I would have taken that as thinking it was sort of funny the way that fucking Bad Empanada was saying this.
No, sorry. She believes his statements.
Well, that's so funny because you can't make up your mind which one it is. But the thing is, her believing what somebody else who also does not claim to have been in Ethan's house or have any special privileged knowledge about what goes on in Ethan's house does not suddenly mean that she is making a statement of fact that will be interpreted by right-thinking people, as the, legal term is, as meaning that this is something that they can believe is true.
His lies, his defamatory statements during that. She's laughing, smiling, and nodding during the clip, making sounds of agreement.
I didn't hear any sounds, actually. Could we hear a sound of agreement, please?
She says, dude, how is it that maybe once a week I look into what Ethan's been up to, and every time I manage to find more and more terrible shit? In response to a chatter stating,
well, I mean, that's true. There's lots of terrible shit that Ethan's been up to.
We now have shit Saturdays. Denim says this is not a joking matter, by the way. It can be very severe and deadly to small children. I mean, much like many other illnesses, it's very, very dangerous when infants get the same sickness that adults get. There's a lot of things you can get as an adult, you're totally fine. You'll be okay.
Yeah, I mean, so what she's saying is, like, she's talking about this parasite, and she's laughing along, and she wants to make it clear that the parasite itself is not a laughing matter, which it isn't. Like, I mean, that's actually just being responsible. She has...
Okay, no problem. A small infant, has no immune system and shouldn't be catching anything. Another part of the clip plays in Denim states, no wonder this motherfucker is always sick. Yeah, it all makes sense now. It all makes sense now. It makes sense why he
So she's, okay, at the most, she's stating she believes a thing that is very explicitly Bad Empanada's interpretation of things that he heard Ethan say.
And care about Palestinian children when he doesn't care about his own. How is this happening? How is this happening? How? Clearly, Denims, you did not disavow, you did not disclose the credibility of Bad Empanada.
Like, yeah, she doesn't actually have to. Bad Empanada did not actually give any reason to believe that he knew these things for a fact. If you actually watch the whole clip, he specifically says he's reading about Giardia, which he did not introduce into the conversation. And he's reading about how you get it, and then he riffs on that. And at no point did he suggest that he knows for a fact what goes on in Ethan's house. Just that sounds like what must be going on if there's Giardia. So he's like blaming Denims for something that Bad Empanada said.
You uncritically...
And that neither of them stated as fact.
Platformed and agreed with the statements that I was putting my kids in danger. Clearly, and Denims, you were clearly looking at your chat during the stream. Obviously, you're reading comments and you're looking at the monitor.
How can you tell? How can you, how can you tell that she's looking at chat? She could be looking, there are a lot, do you know how her fucking stream, her studio or whatever is set up? Like, chat could be over here.
Including the numerous calls to action to contact CPS. And what did you do, Denims?
Wait, okay, so, again, that's other people making such calls to action. That's not, again, that's not Denims.
Did you moderate the chat? Did you say don't call CPS? Did you do anything?
Well, why should she say don't, though? I mean, I can see my, like, I wouldn't say, I wouldn't also absolutely say don't either.
You did not. And unfortunately for you, it's all on video.
I mean, I don't think it's actually unfortunate for her because that's why you're having to make this retraction.
On March 7th. While reacting to the podcast episode where we revealed CPS visited our home.
So that's one incident of her not doing the thing that he accused her of.
Denim 6. Here, I'll play this clip for you.
He's just showing the camera his phone. He's literally standing up straight.
Injury he sustained in the disinformation wars. He had to spend long hours hunched over a laptop, ignoring his children and the poop they were eating for months to deliver the powerful content puke against the most evil man to ever live, Hassan Piker.
Also, he literally makes fun of Mike from PA about weight all the time. That's not relevant to his arguments either. Yeah, I mean, I don't even make fun of people's weight. I've never made fun of people's weight. I do make fun of people's posture.
So, okay. Where's he going with this?
If you're making an active decision that, like, you don't give a fuck about your health or your posture or your dog shitting all over the house to the point where your kids are getting Giardia, That's the image of someone who is not well. Wait.
Yeah, but I mean, that also does not show her encouraging anyone to call CPS.
What? Wait, what does? Wait, what? You guys didn't know about this? Yeah.
Denims here is regurgitating the claim and restating it as fact, actually doubling down.
I mean, what I had heard when we ended up looking at this shit like a few weeks ago was that Ethan had said something like the dogs did have Giardia. He might have gotten it as well, but he denied that that's what the kids had.
She says, well, you have bad posture. Of course you have dog shit on your floor. Which...
That's not what she said. She was saying you have, and I don't actually think that this is, I have to say, I don't think this is a great thing that she just said, because people have posture like that for all kinds of reasons. And saying, if you have, like, bad posture and therefore you must not give a fuck, that isn't great. But it also isn't the thing that he, accused her of.
Let's not even talk about the logic involved in that one.
A rare case of me finding myself partially in agreement with Ethan here, because that actually did suck.
But she goes, and Cheddar says, really? Like, casting doubt? That seems far-fetched. And she goes, oh, you didn't know about this? Yeah. That sounds like you are restating the defamatory accusation as fact to your audience uncritically. And this is after, by the way, we revealed CPS visited our home.
Oh, this is after. So this does not actually help the case that he was... so he okay. Because the thing is, what she was threatening to sue over was his statement that she actually supported people in calling CPS. And as he has demonstrated very clearly, she did not. Other people said that. She did not actually say one way or another. And now we're to the point where after the CPS visit, and she still...
So even after CPS visited, not only did you not denounce it, you doubled down on it. On the claim. You said, no, it is true. He leaves shit on the floor. Oh, you guys didn't know about this? Yeah. This was her, dude, this was her what happened? Oh. This was actually her reacting to the episode where we talk about CPS coming to our house.
Yeah. So the point being that this is after that and therefore cannot actually be used as evidence of her causing it to happen.
Her response directly to us saying CPS visited was not like, oh, that's fucked up. Oh, why would they do that? Who would...
Well, that's the thing. There are all sorts of reasons CPS might have gotten called. Yeah, it could be something to do with this, but it doesn't have to be. And, I mean, there's clearly some problems in that house. Because there, his nanny or his maid, I forget which one, he has one of each. This motherfucker has too much money. Is suing him over abusive treatment in the workplace and stuff like that. Like, there are all sorts of people who might actually do such a thing. There are all sorts of reasons. So no, I would not actually denounce that because I don't, you're expecting people, you're saying that people should not... watch somebody trying to explain the announcement that there was a Giardia infection in the house, and they're supposed to denounce the decision by persons unknown to call CPS without actually even knowing why or who or having any idea actually what goes on in the house. That's also kind of wrong. Because, why should you denounce so you don't know enough to denounce it, you don't know enough to endorse it, and she didn't do either.
Do that. I don't believe that this was appropriate. No, she justifies it.
No, she didn't justify it. At least you haven't shown her justifying it.
By saying, I leave dog shit on my floor because I have bad posture. Oh, you guys didn't know about this? Yeah. That doesn't look good, Dennis.
I mean, it doesn't. I mean, and it does explain why you are retracting it in your inimitably shitty way.
That sounds like defamation to me.
And that's why you're not a defamation lawyer, Ethan, because to the extent there was defamation, it was not by Denims.
I'll continue. March 8th, the next day, which was after we revealed the CPS incident and stated we are exploring litigation against her. This is my favorite part, Denims, and I hope you're watching closely. Denims either deleted her March 1st and March 7th videos or privated them. She did this for a reason. If these videos exonerate her like she claims, why would she delete or private them? Instead, she would have owned me by sharing them.
Well, instead, you're owning yourself because you apparently do not understand that how causality works.
She deleted or privated her videos. It demonstrates to me that she has something to hide. After I publicly addressed the spoliation issue on May 9th.
Yeah, it's spoliation. He that's like the third time he has gotten it wrong.
9th, I have not seen a single clip of Denims addressing the fact that she has erased critical evidence.
Well, as you noted, that's not a fact. You aren't sure whether it's privated, in which case it is certainly accessible to a subpoena. Like, if it's privated, it can be subpoenaed. Hell, given the data retention policies of these platforms, chances are even if she were to delete it, it would be possible to subpoena it from the provider.
Which further emphasizes to me, Denims, that you might have something to hide in there.
But if she does, you haven't shown us what it is.
And you could easily disprove me by, just publishing those two broadcasts. Right? That'd be easy to do. And I mean, I've already called her out for erasing evidence, and she did not respond to that. That's, not looking good. Right? Just prove me wrong, and
you just did. You just did. In fact, I mean, first you start out by retracting the defamatory statements that she asked for a retraction on. And now you're showing proof that she did not make the statements that you allege she made. Like, it is not looking good, but it's looking okay for her.
And make it public.
I mean, that take on his posture was shitty, but that's not actionable.
March 1st and March 7th broadcast. In response to what appears to be a chatter implicating her in the CPS event, Denims responds with, quote,
with what appears to be, why don't you show us what the chatter said?
Can you find me the part where I asked anyone to contact CPS or where I condone that behavior or just any clip?
In other words, denying that. Because as Ethan has shown us, she didn't do that.
My response to this is this, Denims. The clips are from your March 1st and March 2nd stream. 7th.
Yeah, well, except that they don't show that, as you just got done showing us. Why, did you not watch the clips that you were showing us? You should watch the things that you show people, Ethan. I mean, it literally does not show the thing you... I mean, if this were like... If you were responding to Bad Empanada, you'd have a point there. But you weren't responding. You're responding to Denims, who, as you demonstrated, did not actually endorse or say anything.
Stream.
And certainly gave no reason to anyone to believe that she had, like, special factual direct knowledge of what goes on in Ethan's house.
You treated these false allegations as true, uncritically, continue to platform them, emphasize them, justify them. Your chat was urging you and other chatters to contact CPS, and you said and you did nothing. And then you erased the evidence.
Well, now you're saying she erased it. I think for a second you were saying deleted or privated, and now it's erased. Like, make up your mind, dude.
Are you sweating yet?
I don't see why she would be.
I would be if I was you. And that's just half of it. Are you regretting refunding that money, Denims?
I don't think so. Wait. What, regretting refunding the money? So he's saying at this point she must definitely want to sue him? I mean, that's what the money was about. But, of course, he has made a retraction. So, in accordance with the terms of the cease and desist, I don't think she can at this point.
You should be.
He's saying she should be considering suing him?
You can ask again. I'm sure they'll come back stronger than ever. Not looking good. Denim states, quote, "I've never mentioned CPS once. I'm pretty strongly against CPS because it's so underfunded and there aren't enough homes for people. I've never said to do this. I, in fact, say the complete opposite, which is don't tap the glass. Don't waste your time going and responding or commenting or even doing any of this shit." Well, that's very compelling stuff, but let's analyze it.
I mean, the key thing is that she did not say the things that you accused her of, which is why you're making this backhanded retraction.
First, you did not say that you are against contacting CPNs, nor did you ever tell your audience.
She said she was against the institution. Like, if you say you're against the cops, does that I think that includes that you're against people calling them on other people, for example. If you're against the institution, you're against it doing anything.
Not to contact CPS, because the allegations are false. You only echo the points that we ourselves raised on our March 7th podcast, that CPS is underfunded and making a fraudulent call to CPS is a waste of valuable resources. Second of all,
well, no, I mean, her point is it's a waste of valuable resource. It is not likely to improve the situation, even if it isn't a fraudulent call, because they don't have enough placements. And I can tell you, I mean, my mother worked in emergency therapeutic foster care for a very long time. I heard all about it. And yeah, there are no fucking placements. It is impossible.
Where's the clip of you telling your audience not to contact CPS that you're...
That's not how this works, Ethan. You need to actually, if you were going to win in this lawsuit, you would have to show her actually telling people to do that. Expressing support for that decision. You, by your own admission, cannot and do not believe that to be the case.
Was it made before we disclosed the CPS call? If this evidence existed, then why...
That's not how this works. There is no evidence that she actually made a call, that she actually encouraged people to call CPS. So, I mean, it's not a matter of her having to prove that she told people not to. I mean, yeah, it's a better case if you can show that you proved them, that you were actually explicitly saying the contrary. Absolutely. That makes it a better case. But the fact that she never actually said the thing that he was accusing her of saying is itself...
Aren't you sharing it? Instead, the only clip we have are from March 1st and March 7th,
where she doesn't do the thing you accused her of.
To endorse the false allegations that led to the CPS investigation. From the evidence we have, it seems that the first time you denounced the CPS incident was after we had disclosed it happened. And
wait, so she waited until after the incident happened in order to denounce the incident. That's how incidents work. You don't denounce incidents that haven't happened yet. You wait for them to happen and then you denounce them.
After we had said we were exploring litigation against you. Convenient, don't you think?
No, well, I mean, at this point, he would really be absolutely just doing economic self-harm to engage in such litigation, because he has admitted that he does not actually have a good faith belief that she did the thing that he accused her of, and has provided evidence that she didn't do it.
Destiny Orbiter denims. Only one of us has been to Destiny's house. Raise your hand if you've been to Destiny's house before. Not me.
Well, you did kind of take all of his genocidal propaganda talking points for your content puke, though.
Denims, you at home raising your hand? Okay. Should be. Oh, brother. Denims also states, I think it's pissed him off enough that he's now trying to connect me to the CPS thing, even though I was gone. I wasn't streaming I didn't stream for 3 days when this happened. In the stream prior to that, I didn't make any comments about CPS, like I didn't have anything to do with this. You are such a fool.
Wait, is she saying that, or is he saying that to himself, one would assume, because it is making him look foolish?
Do you think that a judge is as dumb as your fucking fans?
This goes to a jury, actually, first of all. And second of all, if as you have admitted, she didn't actually say the thing you accused her of saying, this doesn't go before a judge because you've made the retraction.
Let's analyze this once again. First, the statement that you made that you did not stream when the CPS incident happened is plainly false. We have the March 1st clip. This was 2 days before the call was made to CPS. 2 days!
Well, maybe that's because she's talking about a different day.
And you erased it.
And yet you have the clip.
Right?
I mean, clearly not.
I mean, take that in. 2 days before CPS call was made. And then she...
So, he's going by the date on the clip, which is not necessarily the date it was originally streamed, first of all. Like a clip, the date on a clip can be posted any number of days after a stream happened.
She erased it. She said they didn't stream for 3 days when this happened. That's a lie. It's a provable lie.
Really? Okay, prove it.
Second,
I mean, it would be really silly lie to be telling. It would really be a silly lie to tell, because you'd have plenty of people who would be able to say, yeah, I watched her that day.
and I've said this before, whether you explicitly instructed your audience to contact CPS,
which you admit she didn't,
misses the point.
No, it doesn't. No, it absolutely does not.
You treated the false statements about me as true. And you're...
Well, no, she believed them. Or she believed that it might, she believed at least that it was plausible. I mean, she did not have any reason to believe that they were completely false. Because again, I mean, chat, help me remember this. My recollection is that the word Giardia was brought into this conversation. It's wonderful that we're still talking about this. By Ethan himself, talking about an infection that he and possibly the dogs had. That's my recollection of it. I mean, we watched this thing at the same time. Possibly you watched it more than I have. But, I mean, isn't that how this went down? Like, I mean, Bad Empanada didn't pull Giardia out of his ass. Though that would be a very convenient place to find it. I mean, given its normal transmission pathways. My understanding was that Giardia came into it because because Ethan was talking about it. And then, yeah, Bad and Banada read up on fucking Jardia and said, oh, this must mean there's shite all over the place. Or whatever. That's my recollection. Can anyone... Yeah, I'm not wrong here, am I?
March 1st and March 7th stream. These are the false statements that led to the fraudulent CPS call. That is the accusation. You are incapable...
Do you know that? I mean, my understanding is that he has not actually heard what the call alleged, since it's anonymous and he doesn't get to hear about it. It's confidential.
Of actually interfacing with it, because you want to lie to your fans to make it not seem as bad. But the problem with that, Denims, is that that's not going to work anymore.
I mean, this is hilarious when you consider that Ethan actually explicitly encouraged his fans to call the FBI on Noah Samson and falsely tell them that Noah Samson had threatened Ethan's life. He said that on stream. He said it explicitly. Even granting that every single thing he said is true, which he's admitted it's not. He's actually admitted it's not. But even granting that, what he did very explicitly on stream is way worse than somebody saying, I mean, if there's Jardia in the house, maybe the authorities should look into that.
People are not as dumb.
That gets people killed.
As you and your fans.
But it is time to wrap up for this week. Thank you to everyone who joined in. I hope you enjoyed the stream. And if you enjoyed the stream, please consider supporting the stream and me by making a donation. It is very much appreciated, because this is a very rough time for me. And the donations help me actually continue doing all this. Also, I am now taking commissions. If you would like to have a piece of artwork like the like my La Gaviota Brava cartoon, or the Lesser Cryptids, or something like that, made more or less to order in that style, you can always hit me up at La Gaviota Brava. Have a good night, and see you next week.